All right, so I would like to talk about self-management. So I want to talk about some of the strategies that I'm using for myself to try and develop and self-manage myself, right? Build skills, develop and maintain the skills that I want in my life. So I've somewhat used a bit of ABA. I have a bit of a task analysis that I follow throughout the morning. I use apps on my phone, Dashpop and Habit Bowl. But there's so many apps out there, that's for iPhone. Essentially, what I think is the important thing if you want to develop any sort of morning routine is, number one, you gotta wake up early. Okay, you can't start your day at 7 o'clock, you got half hour to get ready for work and assume to get anything done. If all you wanna do is exercise, I think that's plenty of time. You wake up, you get out of bed, you exercise, and you go. But over time, if you want to build more things, you're gonna obviously have to move your morning backwards, and that may mean going to sleep earlier. So I now in my morning routine have about 10 or 12 stacked routines, habits, skills that I work on every morning to try and build up my character, build up my skill level, and eventually, hopefully become a better, more skillful person. So what I want to tell you guys out there, if you want to start improving yourself and building these skills, in addition to doing it first thing in the morning, and the reason I say the morning is because that is the time of the day that you have the most energy, okay? You haven't gone to work yet. You're not wasted by all of the stress and all of the challenges that come up through the day where it's making you tired and stressed, and then you come home and you're not gonna exercise, okay? You're just not gonna do it. You may do it a couple times, but are you going to be able to sustain that? And so this is about sustainable self-management and improvement. So if you can wake up in the morning when you're still fresh, when you still have that motivation, okay, that's number one. Okay, so MO, need the MO. We need to maintain that motivation. Suggestion number two, keep it to about 5 minutes. Okay, so of all of those 10 or 12 things that I'm doing in the morning, each one is about 5 minutes long. So the whole routine can take me about an hour and a half. I think that may be a lot for people just starting out. So my suggestion, if, say, a half-hour exercise routine in the morning is too hard for you, be okay with admitting that, okay? Part of what we need to do is shorten these activities to 3 to 5 minutes. Do it every day for 30 days. And by doing that, in a way, we develop a habit. Now, habit may not be a behavior analytic term, but essentially what we end up doing is establishing this routine around that habit that gets reinforced over time. It's not making us stressed out. It just becomes an easy part of our day. Everything seems almost like a chain, right? So you want to develop your chain from the beginning of the day. Now, at some point, you're gonna not be able to control that chain anymore. You're gonna go to work. Things are gonna be outside of your control. But from the point that you wake up to the point that you leave for work, I think we have that time to really dig into and create our own self-improvement routines. And again, just from the beginning, start in the morning, baby steps, so very small, low response effort. And I don't think the reinforcement part is necessary. I think it will be reinforcing. For me, though, what I have used for reinforcement is, I mentioned that I track this on the apps. So the reinforcement is really seeing the streak of days in a row. I'm seeing my identity to become shaped around this skill that I'm developing, and that makes me feel good because that's the long-term consequence that I'm going for, and I'm seeing that slowly come to life. And I think that it's our responsibility as BCBAs to develop the self-management for ourselves before we try to apply it to those people that we work with.
So this brings up two really interesting points. The first that, Bob mentioned there was, should we have some sort of obligation, ethical obligation, to be able to show and demonstrate that we can apply this to our own lives before we're working with some other population or person to try to influence their behavior? And then second, that is also super interesting as well, is this concept of self-reinforcement. I've linked an article by Israel Golddiamond that just pretty much destroys this altogether. So we are preparing for an episode of the Controversial Exchange. Please submit down below if you're interested, or call in. I've linked that down there too. And that's your Daily BA.
Whatever you use, you have to hold yourself accountable, and you have to abide by the behavior principles, and you will be successful. And that's all I gotta say for today. Good luck in your self-improvement, and good luck with life.